I cannot begin to tell you how wonderful it is to be with you today, to see you and to welcome you, to celebrate this occasion with you. The Dean always has an opportunity to give a few words of encouragement, a charge, if you will, as you begin your next chapter. This morning, I want to talk to you about a mirror test. Commencement ceremonies are familiar to all of us gathered here this morning. For some of the graduating class, your commencement exercises began with kindergarten celebrations, possibly a recital along with that. Others of you recall a high school or pre-college commencement. More recently, there was a conservatory or a college event. And for the graduating class today, a graduate professional school and a world-class university celebrates your accomplishments and prepares to thrust you into a world where human dignity is struggling for survival across the globe. Wanting to offer you, your families, your friends, and guests some thoughtful words appropriate to this occasion, I consulted some online sources. Among them, top 10 commencement speeches, The Late Show reruns with Dave Letterman, Stephen Colbert's most recent commencement addresses, and other random searches that might inspire a pithy comment, a humorous barb about conductors, triumphs of left-handed pianists, and of course, the audio and video archives of both Elvis and Lady Gaga. I'm sorry to report to you my efforts were completely futile, wasted time. I need not say anything this morning about your music or your artistry. You were admitted to this extraordinary school, and probably others that were almost but not quite as extraordinary, by a distinguished faculty. Here, you have had the support and the encouragement of an incomparable faculty and staff, not to mention those individuals who made your education and this university possible because of their devotion, commitment, and the way they lived their lives. Yes, the way they lived their lives. And that thought lingered and still lingers with me. Some of you are thinking, I've heard this before. But before you go back to your iPhones for comfort and protection, remember that my remarks this morning are going to be very brief. I want to speak with you about guiding principles for living a good and balanced life, about values that reflect and sustain an institution. And finally, I will suggest a test for self-assessment that can encourage and affirm the best in each of us. Given the societal conditions we are witnessing at Yale, in this nation, and beyond, this topic seems timely as we all peer into the future. But not only the future, as we look into the mirror each day, do we see a reflection of someone who lives his or her life by guiding principles, by strongly held values. You represent nations from throughout the world, yet it is reasonable to assume that lessons and values we learn in early childhood have some universal elements. For example, the lesson of kindness. Share with others, don't hit your sister, give your brother his toy. The lesson of responsibility. Clean up your mess, put your toys where they belong, put your music back on the music stand. The lesson of gratitude. Say thank you. The lesson of honesty. Tell the truth, play fair. That's just to name a few. Each encounter you had with family, friends, teachers, and yes, later, social media, tested your guiding principles as you grew from childhood to young adulthood. During those years, some of your values changed while others did not. Some were discarded and new ones were added. All values, personal and institutional, require thoughtful and regular examination. Values are truths that guide us, and we are compelled to remember that truth can withstand any question at all. Had Yale's sons and daughters, faculty, staff, and administration not examined and modified core values in her 316 years of existence, none of us would be sitting here today, for this place would not exist. We are here today because successive generations of Yale's descendants dared to look into a mirror and dream audaciously. Their courage to dream, to act, to question truth, to learn from failure, to seek justice, to care for this school, and to make a difference in the world is a gift to all of us, a legacy and responsibility that is ours. The values of Yale are best seen in the way her sons and daughters live their lives. 2 years ago, when most of you arrived, you brought to us your distinctive values, personal, artistic, and educational. And in our experiences of mutual learning, your beliefs have collided and intersected with those of the university and the School of Music. You have changed us, and we have changed you. Hopefully, you found at the School of Music a welcoming community, one where you could continue to work toward the development of your mature and distinctive musical voice, and also a place where you could experience, actually feel, the wonder of a child you taught, the pleasure of a disabled person for whom you performed, and the visceral thrill of that rare performance that moved even you. Like the durable values you learned from lessons some 2 decades earlier, there were lessons here at Yale during the last 2 years that are consonant with the values we attempt to exemplify in the YSM community. I think of 5 in particular: trust, collaboration, respect, compassion, and encouragement. In 1972, Dr. Robert McNeish, a science teacher and a researcher, discussed these traits in a clever piece of prose entitled Lessons from the Geese. He cites certain migration characteristics of geese and applies them to human behavior and teamwork. These lessons underscore the importance that each of us has in our YSM community, and indeed in any place where we live and work. In the following 5 lessons outlined by Dr. McNeish, we will hear first the scientific fact, and then the lesson we can derive from his scientific observations. The fact: as each goose flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the birds that follow. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds 71% greater range than if the birds flew alone. Our lesson: trust and the thrust of each other enables us to achieve goals, to establish a sure sense of direction, and to build community. The fact: when a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of flying alone. It quickly moves back to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird in front of it. The lesson: collaboration is essential. Be willing to work together, to accept help, and to give help to others. The fact: when a goose tires of flying up front, it drops back into formation, and another goose flies to the point position. The lesson: we should respect and appreciate each other's unique talents, skills, capabilities, and resources. Share the difficult tasks and support each other. Remember that a good leader is also a good follower. The fact: when a goose becomes sick or wounded, 2 other geese drop out of the formation and follow it down to help or protect it. They stay until it flies again or until it dies. Only then do they launch with another formation or catch up with their flock. The lesson: compassion and devotion for others in time of need will, in fact, strengthen us. The fact: geese flying in formation honk to encourage those up front to maintain their speed. These honks are called contact calls. The lesson: where encouragement abounds, everyone's productivity is much greater. The power of encouragement to stand by one's heart, our core values, and to encourage others to do the same is critical to a community's welfare and to our emotional well-being. Like you, your parents, your previous teachers, and your schools and organizations, we at Yale seek to create a community and environment where those values are evident in our daily routines. The key, however, is to live them, not simply talk about them. We sometimes fall short, but like those before us, we pull and tug at the questions of what is right, what is true, and what must be changed to secure an enlightened future. Some years ago, the notion of the mirror test occurred to me. The day had been especially rough, and while brushing my teeth before going to bed, I was confronted by my own image in the mirror in a way that I had not experienced before. It led to a mental conversation in which I asked myself why the day was troubling and what I did or did not do to make it that way. In my work and in my personal life, did I do my best? Did I act with integrity? Was I truthful? Was I kind and compassionate? Was I tolerant? Did I listen? Did I listen with mind and heart? Did I express gratitude? A lot of questions were on my test, all taken from values that I considered core for me. Then came the decision about how to grade myself. Pass, fail, letter grade, bell curve, or actual score. Because I was in a confidential conversation with myself and could see my eyes looking back at me from the mirror, only my strict assessment of my own accountability would suffice. I opted for letter grades because they could best indicate how I lived my life that day. It will not surprise most of you at all to learn that my grades are most often B or B minus, sometimes C plus. On rare occasions, I get an F. On rarer still occasions, I might get an A. But the point is this: the mirror test is my daily examination of how my proclaimed values are seen in the way I lead my life. My scores over time offer insight to me about my values that need to be re-examined or changed. I encourage you to take the mirror test regularly. What do you value most? Career at any cost, or a balanced life? Wealth or happiness? Anger or forgiveness? Image or substance? What do you value most? What do others see and hear in your artistic voice that reflects the guiding principles of your life? I hope you will take from this place, of which you are now forever a part, 3 enduring values that will give meaning to your life and work. The first is a profound sense of gratitude, a sense that, as President Salovey said to the Yale College class of 2014, a sense that the need to express gratitude reminds us that we are not entirely in control, that we might be dependent or indebted, that our destiny is not entirely in our hands, and that on occasion we are vulnerable. And your friends and family sitting with you today bear witness to the fact that none of us is totally self-reliant. Indeed, the way others lived their lives made ours possible. We can do no less. The second is kindness. Quote, guard well within yourself that treasure, kindness, said George Sand. Know how to give it without hesitation, how to lose it without regret, and how to acquire it without meanness, end quote. Take kindness, recalling the thought of treating others as you wish to be treated. And finally, take love. I am not referring to the sentimental, sexual, ambient soundbite, but to a love that simply wishes the best for another person, indeed for everyone. Peter Gomes, whom I have often quoted, puts it this way, quote, love is wishing the best not only for the people near to us or like us or with whom we agree, love is wishing the best for all who are in need, end quote. I do love this school, like so many, and all who comprise this community. And yes, I wish for all of you the best life can offer. In closing, I want to share with you a story recounted by Ed Bacon, who is perhaps one of the world's preeminent leaders for social justice. He tells it this way. The mother of a small boy who exhibited talent and passion for the piano thought he might be inspired and could actually learn something by attending a concert by Paderewski, the great Polish pianist. Tickets in hand, they arrived at the hall and took their seats near the stage a couple of minutes before the concert was to begin. The mother noticed a friend across the aisle and told her son to remain there while she said hello to her friend. Being curious, the young boy decided to explore the hall and chose the door marked "No Admittance." The lights dimmed. The mother rushed back to her seat as the curtains were parting and was horrified to see her son sitting on the stage at the Steinway Concert Grand and innocently playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. The great master tiptoed in, turned to the audience, put his finger to his lips to shush them, and quickly moved to the piano. He sat down on the bench by the little boy and whispered in his ear, "Don't quit. Don't stop. Keep playing." Then leaning over, Paderewski reached down with his left hand and began filling in the bass part. With his right hand, he stretched around the other side of the child and added a running obbligato. Together, the old master and young novice transformed a frightening situation into a wonderfully creative experience. You and I are that child seated at the piano right now. The playing sometimes gets tough. You and I make mistakes. We become discordant. Yet whatever our situation in life and history, however outrageous or desperate, whatever dry spell of the spirit, whatever dark night of the soul, whatever temptation we experience that would make us cynical, however often we wonder if we will make it economically, we are not alone. Love has taken a seat on our piano bench and is whispering deep within us, "Don't quit. Don't stop. Keep playing. I want the best for you. You are not alone. Together, we will transform the brokenness of this world into a masterpiece of justice. Together, we will enchant the world with our songs of perseverance and peace. Hold tight to your values and let them illumine each day for you then you will soar with boundless joy and unending hope. And you'll pass the mirror test with flying colors. Thank you.